The afternoon sun was shining over a busy car dealership in a quiet American town. Shiny vehicles lined the front lot, their polished surfaces reflecting the bright sky. Among them stood a brand-new luxury car, a beautiful Mercedes-Benz S-Class. People walked in and out of the showroom, dressed in suits, sunglasses, and expensive watches. Then suddenly the glass doors slowly opened. An old man stepped inside. His clothes were worn and dusty. His gray beard was untrimmed, and his shoes looked like they had survived many years on the road. In one hand he held a small paper bag, in the other an old walking stick. A few customers turned their heads. One salesman whispered to another, trying not to laugh. The old man slowly walked toward the showroom floor and stopped right in front of the shining Mercedes. He gently touched the hood. Just then, a young salesman approached him with an annoyed look. "Sir," he said with a smirk, "the soup kitchen is 3 blocks away." A few people nearby chuckled. The old man looked at him calmly. "I'm not looking for food," he said softly. "I'm looking for a car." The salesman raised his eyebrow. "You want to buy a Mercedes-Benz?" Another salesman joined them, shaking his head. "Are you buying a new Mercedes wearing those clothes?" he said loudly. More people in the showroom started laughing. One woman covered her mouth, trying not to smile. The old man didn't respond immediately. He just looked at the car again, admiring its design like someone looking at a piece of art. Then he spoke quietly. "Yes." The room grew slightly quieter, but the mocking smiles remained. The first salesman crossed his arms. "Sir, this car costs over $120,000. The old man nodded. "I know." "Oh, then maybe you should try a used car lot instead," the salesman replied sarcastically. Another customer whispered to his friend, "This guy probably doesn't even have $20. The old man slowly reached into his coat pocket. The salesman watched with amused expression. Then he placed something on the glass desk nearby. It was a thick envelope. The laughter faded a little. The salesman opened it casually, expecting nothing, but when he looked inside, his expression froze. Bundles of cash, neatly stacked. His hands started shaking. The room slowly fell silent. The second salesman leaned closer. "How much is that?" The old man replied calmly. "Enough to pay for the car today." Now everyone in the showroom was staring. The salesman who had mocked him earlier suddenly cleared his throat. But the old man raised his hand gently. "What do you say?" "I'm not finished." He slowly sat down in one of the showroom chairs. 20 years ago, he said, I owned a small construction company. No one spoke. I had employees, trucks, a house, a family. His voice grew softer. But one night, a fire destroyed everything. He paused. I lost my business, my home, and my wife. The room was completely silent now. I spent years living on the streets, not because I had to, but because I didn't want anyone to know who I used to be. One customer looked down at the floor. The old man continued, "But during those years, I learned something." He looked directly at the salesman. You can tell a lot about a person by how they treat someone who looks poor. No one dared to speak. Then the dealership manager suddenly rushed over. He had been watching the security cameras. "Sir," the manager said nervously, "please accept our apologies. We would be honored to help you." But the old man slowly stood up. He looked one last time at the beautiful Mercedes. Then he smiled. "I can afford the car," he said, "but I won't buy it here." The words landed like thunder in the silent showroom. He picked up the envelope and walked toward the door. Before leaving, he turned around. "I hope the next person who walks in wearing old clothes gets treated better." Then he stepped outside. The door closed behind him. Inside the showroom, no one moved. The two salesmen who had laughed earlier stood frozen, their faces pale. The shiny Mercedes-Benz S-Class still sat in the center of the room, but now it didn't look as impressive because everyone had just learned something far more valuable. Respect costs nothing, and sometimes a person everyone ignores is the one who could change everything.